It's fall and it's time for collecting seeds. Come join me in the chaos. Alright, so your first step is going to be to find a bag to put these in, put your seeds in. So all I could find is gallon bags. So just use whatever bags you have. I'm not going to go to the store and buy extra bags since I have a ton of these. I like to use whatever paper I have available, better, but anyway, that seems to work. A little pouch to keep the seeds in. All right, so I have a whole bunch of basil here that's gone to seed. And if you've never seen basil flowers, I'll take this off and show you. So that's what basil flowers look like. They're kind of pretty. And they smell amazing. Like I love the smell of, all basil smells amazing, but that's what a basil flower looks like. And so if you're curious what basil seeds look like, when they start turning brown like this, that's what it looks like when it's gone to seed. And if you look inside these old flowers, you'll see little black dots. And guess what those are? I don't know if the camera's gonna focus on that. Little black dots in there. So you can take these in your hand and kind of run them through your fingers. And you get these little flower heads. And if you want, you can just take these flower heads and just let them dry. Or you can just kind of move them around, and you'll notice that in my hand, a little bug right here. Little black seeds. Those are basil seeds. And you can just kind of shake these around. I'm probably just going to start off collecting these little spent flowers in this bag. And then I'm going to let them dry out for a few days. A little easier to shake them too. Oh, that worked really well. It's not what I was planning, but that actually works better. Notice just being able to shake them in a bag. All those seeds kind of fall out. So maybe I'll do that. Shake them all out first and then transfer them to this little paper pouch. Let them dry out on a shelf for a few days. So grab the spent seeds. Grab the spent flowers, There's probably more than enough seeds. One of the main reasons I like to collect seeds where I'm at though, is because of the way natural selection works. If you collect seeds where you live, you can rest assured that those particular genetics in that plant were really good for your particular climate. Especially, I know that this basil plant was massive and grew extremely fast and vigorous. So I like the genetics that has for my particular zone. So collecting seeds in stuff that you grow in your own zone, you can rest assured that those are going to be probably the best seeds to grow. And then of course you know the source of your seeds because you grew them. So since I don't use pesticides, I don't have to worry about random contaminants, plants that are addicted to pesticides, things like that. That's not going to be an issue for me. And yes, you can have plants that are addicted to pesticides. What do I mean? I mean that if you grow a plant and it's used to growing in the presence of pesticides, it's not resistant to insects because it never had to activate those genes for resistance because you coddled it with pesticides. And then of course pesticides are toxic as well, but even if they weren't toxic, you're still coddling your plants, which means they're not going to have the best genetics. So I would rather grow plants that don't need pesticides, that grow amazing. So I think that's, oh, I got some over here hiding. This is actually a different variety. That's a different variety. So I have Genovese. This is Genovese basil. And I believe the other type of basil is, what is it? It's a spicy kind. I can't remember what it's called. Genovese is the mild one that you typically will use on caprese salads. And then the other one is a really spicy one. It's like, is it Asian or I can't remember, something like that. Some other type of basil. Like if you know, leave me a comment. I'm not like an expert on basil. It's usually like a very minor afterthought in my garden. It's just so easy to grow. I don't really put that much thought into it, especially when you collect your own seeds. So I hope that inspires you to go out into your fall garden and start collecting seeds. There's other plants I could obviously do, but I'm trying to be focused here. So tons of basil seeds, like thousands. Whoops, I'm losing flowers. As you can see, I've already shaken out thousands of seeds, so I'm probably set for seeds for the next 10 years. But I thought I'd come out here since there's just so many spent flowers on this thing. And I could probably come out once these green ones have dried out a little bit and get even more. Thanks for joining me in the chaos. All right, so I had such an incredible amount of flowers. I decided to dry them out in this other contraption that I made. So some of these are a little bit softer. As you can see, some are green, and then it was sprinkling earlier as well. So I want to make sure I don't get mold on these seeds. And also some of the seeds aren't releasing from these little pouches, and I don't want to like manually tear them in half to let the seeds out every time. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, like you can see inside there. Some of the seeds are falling out, but there's still like 1 or 2 seeds in each one that isn't just falling out. So I'm gonna see if drying them out for a few days helps.